Hello guys, welcome to the second episode or the second part of our tutorial here on pixellab. In this video I'll be showing you the rest of the tools in pixellab. So without wasting much time, let's dive into it. Alright, so this is where we stopped in the first episode or the first part of the video. So today we are considering this part. Alright, so we are considering the first one is like a folder icon. Alright, so what it does is the folder icon consists of all your projects that you've done. It consists of all the projects that you've done. So if you want to access the projects that you've done, you just click on that. You can make corrections, make editing, make anything that you want to add to your project that you've done. So these ones are backgrounds, some backgrounds that you can use. These are default backgrounds that you can use. So for the first one is the default background. This one, the first one is the default background. We have another background here. This is another background. So we have a whole lot of backgrounds here that you can use. But as a designer, I wouldn't recommend these backgrounds to you simply because it limits you to a certain extent. You can't bring out the creativity in you, so I wouldn't recommend using these backgrounds. Rather, designing a background from or designing from scratch. All right, let's move on. Let me choose the default background. All right, so we are coming or moving on to this part. All right, so this part gives you the tools here to edit the text right there. You see the text has been selected. Click on the background. You see all the tools here are gone. Just click on the text and they are back. All right, so I'm going to take you through all the tools here on how to use it to edit this text right here. So the first one is the stars. This gives you the browse and the save icon. I think I showed you the save the first part of the video. So the second one is edit. Just click on edit and then you can edit your text right from here. You can edit your text right from here. All right, so click on OK if you are done. This is your text right here. And the second one is delete. If you want to delete the text that you just typed, you can click on delete and then it will be gone. All right, so the next one is copy. So you can copy your text as many times that you want. You can copy your text as many times that you want. Copy your text as many times that you want. So that's how the copy tool works. All right, let's move on. So the next one is to front to back. Okay, to show you the to front to back, let me show you this way. Let me copy this text right there and change the color of this one to, let's say, black. All right, and then move this one on top. You see, I've moved this on top of the black one. If I want to send the white one or the first text behind the black one, just click on to back right from here. This is the to back. So right there you can see the white text is gone behind the black text. So that's how the to back to front works. That's how the to front to back works. All right, let's move on. So we are moving on to position. Here you can position your text. You can position it from here. You can increase the move by or the speed. You can position it from here. You can move it sideways, downwards, upwards. All right, and the next one is relative position. The relative position, what it does is it gives you definite position points. For instance, if you want the central position point, the sideways, the upper, it gives you definite position points. So you can use that one if you want definite position points. Here the size of the text, you can increase the size of the text to the desired size that you want. So that's the size. The padding, this is how the padding behaves. So we have right padding, you have left padding. You would understand this padding better when I reach or when I get to the background. Using background, will show you the padding there. So you can add color to your work or your text from here. These are colors that you can choose from. These are all colors that you can choose from. You have gradient too. You can choose gradient from here. You can click on the plus sign here. It will take you to choose the colors that you want, so you can adjust it right from here. These are gradients, so you can adjust it right from here. All right, so let's move on. So the next one is texture. If you want to add texture to your text, just click on texture. It sends you straight to your gallery. This is an image icon, so click on the image icon. It sends you straight to your gallery. So if you want to add any texture to your text, just click on, let's say, this one. You see, so the texture is being added to your text. So it's been added as a texture to your text. All right, so let's move on. And the next one is opacity. What the opacity does is, if you want your color or your text to be faint, like you see it as being like diminished or diminishing, want it to be faint, you use the opacity to adjust it right from here. It's very necessary to know opacity. So the next one is rotate. If you want to rotate your text, you can do that. Right from here. If you want to rotate your work any angle that you want, you can do that. The next one is mask. The mask cuts certain portion of your work, so let me enable it. You can see it from here. You can adjust it from here, so it cuts certain portion of your work. So anywhere that you want to cut, you just move it to that section and it will cut it. So if you want to cut in, the cutting cuts anything within the mask, so you can see anything within the mask is being cut, and the out cuts anything outside the mask. This is very interesting. You should master it. This one, we can move the mask after achieving the desired this thing. You can move the mask to any part of the screen that you want. You can zoom it, zoom in, zoom out, zoom out from here. You can zoom in and zoom out from here. Let's continue. All right, so the next one is font. So you have default fonts here. That comes with pixellab. Default fonts here that comes with pixellab. Yet you can download another font. You can download fonts to be added to your pixellab app. So you can download fonts. So I have my fonts here. You see, these are fonts that I use for my OS, fonts that are downloaded. So you can download fonts to your OS. If you come here, these are the recent fonts that I've used. So you can edit from there. If you want to add any for instance, if you have downloaded, let's say, a font from online, from any website, and want to add it to your pixellab app, just click on here. Let me show you. So the first one is if you want to add font, and this one is a folder. The next one is folder. Yeah. So the first one, just click on, if you have any font that you want to add, just click on it, and it will take you, probably, let's say, downloads. It will be a downloads, so you can choose the font that you want to add. And then the next one is folder. So it selects the whole folder that your fonts are in. So let's move on. I will make a special video on how to add a font to your pixellab. So for now, let's move on. The next one is star. Next one is star. So what a star does is, if you want your text to be bolded, if you want it to be in italic form, underlined, just use this one. So the bold is this italic and then underline. So that's how the star behave. The curve, if you want to curve your text, you see, if you want to curve your text anyhow that you want, how curved do you want your text to be, you can do that from here. So let's move on. The next one is background. This is background. If you want to add background to your text, this is it. I will show you the pattern as I said. So with the background color, you can change it from here. You have a lot of colors here. You can change the background color. Here too, you can adjust it from here. That's how it behaves. So this is the pattern I was talking about. You see, the background is being part. See, so that's the padding, the right padding, the top padding, the bottom padding. Can change the radius. So that's it. The next one is align. Okay, to understand the align better, let me add another test to this test. Let me see, is the best as you all know. All right, so Kinsam graphic is the best. Okay, and then let me click on align. Okay, so we have align left, align center, align right, and then justify. So with the align left, click on it, you see your text being aligned at the left side, align center right here, and then align right, and this is justify. Yeah, that's justify. All right, so you can justify it too. And the next one is spacing. This one is spacing. So if you want to space your text, how wide do you want your text to be spaced, or how close do you want it to be? So that's spacing. And this is line spacing. So it space the lines in between your text, the lines in between your text. That's line spacing. And this one is stroke. This one is stroke. If you want to add any stroke to your text, so you can change the stroke color right from here. Change the stroke color. You have stroke colors here. You can change the stroke width. All right, so let's continue. The next one we are talking about is shadow. This is very, very necessary. This shadow, we can apply shadow to your work, to your text right there. So we have the opacity. We have the shadow opacity. You can change the shadow color. We have yeah, that's the shadow opacity. The blur radius, you can change the blur radius. Outgrow, if you want to outgrow effect, you can do that from here. The offsetting, can offset your shadow, offset x and then offset y. It's like the Cartesian s and y plane. So offset x and offset y. And the next one is inner shadow. Alright, so this is inner shadow. So we have the blur radius as well, the offset, blah blah blah. Can change the colors right from here. So that's the inner shadow. So the inner shadow, the difference between the two is the shadow gives you shadow to your text or behind the text, and the inner shadow gives the shadow in the text. And then this emboss. This is an effect that you can apply to your work. We call it emboss. So you can emboss your text. You can increase the intensity or decrease it, the ambient light. You have the specular hardness, you can change that from here. We have the bevel, you can change that too. All right, so let's move on. The next one is perspective. This is perspective. So if you want your text to behave in a perspective manner like this, let me show you. Enable it. You see that this is a nice perspective that you can give your text. So if you want your text to behave in a perspective manner, you can change or edit that from there. All right, so we have 3D rotate. If you want to rotate your text in 3D form, let me show you. Use the S as this. You see this, the first one, the S gives you 180 degrees, and then the Y2 gives you another 180 degrees, making 360. So you can rotate your text anyhow, any that you want in 360 degrees. So within 360 degrees, you can rotate your text. That's the 3D rotate. And then the next one is 3D test. So if you want a 3D view of your text, you can just click on. You have two aspects here. You have the perspective and then the oblique. So if you want the oblique, you can click on it. If you want the perspective, click on it. You can change the depth from here. You can see it. You can change the color. You can change the color that you want. You can change the darkness. How do you want it to be darkened? The rotation, there's rotation, Y rotation, and then you can change the light angle, the intensity. You can change the shadow, spectral hardness. All right. So if you want oblique 2, you can just click on oblique. That's oblique. You can change the depth from here. Darkness. So that's oblique 2. Let's move on. And the next one is 3D shadow. This is 3D shadow, how it behaves. So if you want to apply 3D shadow to your text, just click on 3D shadow. You can change the colors from here. You can change the opacity, the blur radius. You can change the expand by how do you want your 3D shadow to expand. That's it. And then the last one is or let's say the last one for this video or the part 2 is reflection. So if you can reflect your text right from here, this is very interesting. Just reflect your text if you want to reflect it. So that's it. Thank you all for watching this video. This is the second part of our tools here in pixellab. I'll be continuing with the rest of the tools in the third part or the part 3 of the video. So see you in my next video.